If you've ever tried to build a routine and it lasted for 2 days, then this video is for you because you probably don't hate structure. In fact, part of your brain probably craves it. The thing is that there's a part of your brain that also craves freedom and flexibility and curiosity. And your routines are probably not balancing these two things out. The thing is, when we think of a routine, most of us build a routine that's made for a robot, right? We grab and we decide that we're going to do this at 7 and this at 7:05 and this at 7:06 and this at 7:15, and we keep on adding and adding and adding to it, and then we expect ourselves to not be bored at any time after repeating that routine again and again and again and again. If you have a creative brain or a neurodivergent brain, or if you're just a fellow weirdo like me, you know that that's not going to happen. One day you're going to give up on that routine. Sometimes it might be 6 months later, sometimes it might be 2 days later. But whatever it is, today I want to show you 4 ways that you can build routines that allow for structure and flexibility so that they last a little bit longer. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. So let's go. Most routines fail because they expect you to be the exact same person every single day. And the reality is, we are humans. We're not going to have the same time, the same energy, the same anything every single day of the year. What's way number 1 to build this? Take into account your energy levels. Now, this is personally my favorite way of building out routines because it takes into account that there are days where I'm just going to be tired. And there are days where I'm going to be like a superhuman, right? So what do you do with this? This means you create 3 routines. A very simple routine that you can do even on a day when you have no energy, when you feel like a zombie. Then a regular human routine that has some added things to it. And then a superhuman routine when you feel like you're just ready to be the best version of yourself that day. So what can this look like in practice? Let's say you're doing a morning routine. Well, your zombie level might be taking your supplements, having breakfast, and walking the dogs. 3 things that you have to do every single day, no matter what. And that's it. That's the only thing that's in that routine. The regular human routine might include things that are important to you that can happen when you have a normal amount of energy. So let's say it's also making your breakfast, not just ordering it in. Or it is also stretching for 5 minutes or journaling for 10 minutes, right? Those kinds of things. And then the superhuman would be your zombie level routine plus your regular human routine plus certain things that you think you can only do or that you can only do when you have high amounts of energy. That could be washing all of the dishes from the night before if you don't have a dishwasher, or it could be starting a load of laundry and also exercising for 30 minutes and taking a shower and washing your face and doing a bunch of other stuff that you want to do every day, but truly you don't always have the energy to do. Like I said, this is my favorite way to build out routines because it really accounts for the different energy levels that I might have. And what I do each morning is I ask myself, where are my energy levels right now? Am I a zombie? Am I a normal human? Am I a superhuman? And based on my answer, that's the routine that I focus on. If you'd like to see this more in depth and in practice, I actually have 2 different videos, one on building out my morning routine and one on building out a night routine. I'll leave them in the description below if you'd like to see this more drawn out in practice. But that's it for the first type of building a routine. The second type is a little bit more flexible and it relies on anchor points. Now, the beauty of building a routine based on anchor points is that the anchor points are the things that you do naturally every day. So for example, I have dogs. Every day I walk my dogs and every day I feed my dogs. So an example of an anchor point routine would be to use these things that I do every day as an anchor point to do something else. So let's say after I walk my dogs in the morning, I have to spend 30 minutes off of screens. Or after I feed my dogs, I load the dishwasher. Or I load the laundry machine, the washing machine. What this does is it makes a routine be built around the things that you already do naturally and around your natural rhythms. It doesn't rely on you saying, I have to feed my dogs at 7:30 a.m. and then at 7:35 I'm going to wipe down the dining room table. No. If you feed your dogs at 7 or 7:30, or one day you wake up really late and you feed them at 10 a.m., all you have to do is remember that after you feed your dogs, you wipe down the dining room table. And so this gives a lot more flexibility on when things happen and how they happen, but it still uses this natural rhythm of your life to create a more solid routine. Now, the third type of routine is the a la carte menu.
She's fancy.
This one is for the folks who truly get bored doing the same thing over and over again. If this is you, the a la carte menu routine is one of the best options. Instead of thinking of your routine based on the things you would like to do, what you do is you think of your routine based on broader categories. So let's go again with the example of a morning routine. Let's say in the morning, you know you need to feed yourself. So let's say nutrition. You want to exercise. You want to do something for your mental health. And you'd like to do something creative. Let's say those are your 4 broader categories. What you would then do is you would create a menu for each of those categories. So for creativity, your menu might look like drawing, or it might look like writing, free writing, or maybe it's, I don't know, maybe you do pottery. So doing some pottery or doing some jewelry making. I don't know what you do for creativity. That depends on you.
I'm going to be teaching creative writing to adults.
For exercise, it might be, that YouTube exercise class that you really like, or 10 minutes of stretching, or 30 minutes of yoga, or, a really high intense energy dance workout that you do. I don't know. For nutrition, it might be making yourself a full hearty breakfast. It might be taking yourself out for breakfast. It might be ordering in breakfast. It might include taking your supplements. It might include just having a protein drink. And what happens is once you have these menus, in the morning you say, okay, my 4 things to hit are nutrition, exercise, creativity, and I don't remember what the last example was. How do I hit? Oh, it was mental health. So like journaling, meditating, things like that. Okay, so I need to hit these 4. Let's look at nutrition. What do I feel like doing today? I actually feel like cooking today. Let me make myself a breakfast. Cool. Okay, exercise. What do I feel like doing today? I have no energy to exercise today. Let me just do the 10 minutes of stretching. Okay, mental health. What do you feel like doing today? Oh, journaling sounds great. Let me do journaling. But then the next day, it might look completely different. You might order breakfast in and then do a HIIT workout. And then, or you might even do it out of order, right? You might do a HIIT workout and then have breakfast and then meditate. You never know. This keeps it flexible. It keeps it fun. It keeps it interesting. But you're always hitting those broader categories that you want to take care of. And the final one is the minimum and maximum goals. I've also talked about minimum and maximum in a different video, so I'll link that one below as well. In that video, it was more about goals specifically, but for routines, it works just as well. So what is a minimum and a maximum goal? It means what is the minimum thing that you would count as something that you can check off and keep that routine streak. So for example, in exercise, maybe your minimum is just stretching for 5 minutes, but your maximum is actually heading out to the gym and doing a full 45-minute workout or an hour workout. I don't know. Anything you do between your minimum and your maximum counts. Now, this is similar to the energy levels in the sense that if you're really tired, you're usually going to go for the minimum. Whereas if you're not, you're usually going for the maximum. But most days will lie somewhere in the middle, right? However, the difference between this one and the energy levels is that in the energy levels, you're attaching more things to the list. So in zombie level, you have 5 things to do, whereas in regular human, you have these 5 things plus these 3 things, so 8 things total. And in superhuman, you have an additional 5 things, so it would be 13 things total. Whereas in the minimum and maximum levels, you're doing the same 10 things every day. What's changing is what you're actually doing in those things. You're gonna exercise every single day. However, some days you're gonna stretch for 5 minutes, and some days you're gonna go out to the gym. You are going to journal every single day, but sometimes it's going to be journaling for 1 minute, and other times it's going to be journaling for an hour. I hope that makes sense. Whatever way you decide to build your routine, what I want you to remember is that most routines fall apart because we only keep them in our head. Whether you use Notion, Airtable, or sticky notes on your desk, or a whiteboard, whatever you use, try to write down your routine, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and check in with yourself each week. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't, what drained me, what energized me, because your routines are not meant to stay the same. They have to evolve and grow with you if we want to actually keep them and keep them going. When you outgrow your routine is when you start resisting it, which means that you're not having it evolve with your current life. Now, I'm really curious. What type of routine building do you think would work best for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This is a smaller channel and I'm really trying to grow it. And I see that tons of people come back and watch the videos, but they haven't subscribed to the channel. So if that's you, take a second to check if you are subscribed. I make new videos like this every single Friday. So until then, stay wild, stay weird, and I'll see you in the next one.